WRC is back, or I should say was back, because it's been actually almost 2 weeks since the first rally of the season, which was Rally Monte Carlo, and it was yet again another show from Sebastian Ogier. The Frenchman won 9 out of the 18 stages, and the Toyotas generally looked rapid, with Evans and Ravampera both winning stages. Unfortunately, yet again, it was another unlucky performance for Elfyn Evans, and could only got a 4th place and 3rd in the power stage. I generally believe though, if it wasn't for that 8th stage on Friday, he could have fought for victory. Definitely one to watch for the rest of the season. He was very close to Ozier's pace, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he will do in the rest of the rallies. As for Ravampera, it was an okay start, definitely better than last season, but we're still obviously expecting him to be up there and win rallies, if not become the champion again, despite a mediocre, I should say, performance, because Evans was generally faster, and obviously I can't really compare him to Ogier because he is literally the master of monster, or even master as you want to say, of Monte Carlo. Moving on to Hyundai now, they only had generally one good driver the whole weekend, and that was Thierry Neuville. Podium for the Belgians, showed speed but not enough speed to fight Calais. And Hyundai says it was a setup issue instead of a performance issue. I guess we'll have to wait and see how Thierry can do in the next rallies, but I certainly have faith in Cyril Abiteboul and Neuville to put things together and probably work out a few rally victories here and there. Not sure if that performance was championship caliber. I was honestly expecting him to be up there and fight for 2nd position with Ravampera, but you know, what can I say? As for the other drivers, Soto traditionally not good around there. Don't really understand the decision to even sign him up for this one. They could have picked another driver like, I don't know, like Oliver Solberg, you know, which they didn't renew his contract, but they should have kept him like and probably give him a few more rallies, or it was actually a good, decision to put him WC2. As for Lappi, their new driver, also not really good around here, I guess, but he honestly just looked lost. He couldn't get to grips with the car at all. I think we'll have to wait for some time to see the real Lappi in the i20. It's a brand new car. I think we should give him some time to get used into it. He had a very good performance with the Yaris in Finland. I honestly was expecting him to see him with a Yaris this year. It was a bit of a weird move to see Lappi in the Hyundai, but I still have faith in him. I still think we have to wait and see how well he does probably as the time goes on and in some of his favorite rallies. Now M Sport, my favorite team. Well, no lab, no party, but, generally speaking, it doesn't look too good for M Sport. The Puma, if you remember, was the fastest car here last season. Greensmith won a stage, and that said something, that the Puma literally was the fastest car. If you see Greensmith winning a stage, I'm not, saying that Greensmith is not a good driver, but he's not really a stage winner. But he did it with the Puma in Monte Carlo. Generally, the car deteriorated, I would say, as the season went on. Resources weren't enough. The drivers had issues. They overpushed the car. There were crashes. Fourmaux did bad. Breen couldn't be consistent with the car. I don't know what was going on, and they didn't really perform any well, apart from the times when Leb was in the car. And that said, that this car has abilities if they give it to a proper number 1 driver. But now for Monte Carlo, overly, I don't think that the car has a lot of issues in terms of performance. That's my bet. It's more about testing and getting the car to fit Tanak's liking. Traditionally, Tanak's not good around Monte Carlo, and he also isn't used to the Puma. Limited testing time and not any good results in his career in Monte, and so for him to achieve a 4th place was very good for the championship indeed, gathering some very important points, because later on, as he gets used into the car and more, I think we're going to see some amazing things from Tanak, especially in some of his favorite rallies. And the more testing he gets with the car and the more feedback he gives back to M Sport, I think he's going to extract even more from the car, and we're going to see a real fight. So until then, 4th places, podiums here and there are very good, and especially his highlight, and my highlight of the rally has to be his fight for the power stage victory, missing only for 0.5 seconds to Calais. So that's sort of something. It was the power stage where he could have easily won it if it wasn't for a few details. So he saw that he has the speed. It's all about, you know, getting the testing, gathering feedback, and, you know, getting into grips with the Puma. I think we're going to see a nice little fight between Neville, Tanak, and Calais, and Elfyn Evans for this championship. So, and for Piero Hilbert, I think he'll show his speed. As Malcolm said later after the rally, it just didn't work out for him. Monte, he also said that he just wants to finish the rally, get some points. Unfortunately, he crashed. Tough rally for him. No speed, but I generally have faith in him. Remember what he did in the Acropolis rally. That's all I'm going to say. Moving into the next category, the WRC2. What a dominant performance that was from the new Skoda Fabia Rally 2 and Nicola Gryazin, who unfortunately wasn't the winner. A late and stupid 5-second penalty from the FIA for cutting a corner gave away the victory to Rossel in the Citroën C3. Not only that, but Gryazin even faced a puncture on the 14th stage, but he was still able to win the rally by driving like crazy on Sunday. It was amazing. Just check out like the gaps from him to Rossel throughout the entirety of the rally. He was dominating, then has this stupid puncture, and then he just drives like crazy throughout the whole Sunday. And yeah, he wins the rally, only for FIA to take away the victory for a cut in a rally event. Generally, for me, he's the real winner, and it was such an exciting performance from him. I was really not expecting it. Definitely wants to watch this season for the WC2 title, and one to keep in mind for the top category. Very good performance from Rossel. No, like, I don't want to take away any props from him. He was up there with Gryazin. If it wasn't for the puncture though, Gryazin would have won the rally. He was 40 seconds ahead, but Rossel was consistent. He was fast, simply not as fast as Gryazin. I still want to see how he does in other surfaces, because tarmac has always been his strong point. And yeah, I'm not sure that Rossel will be like one to watch this season. Despite this victory in Monte Carlo, I still think he doesn't have as much raw speed as Gryazin has, or other drivers like Solberg. Lopez, the Spanish driver, another interesting drive. He managed to set some great times, win a stage, but most importantly, he was consistent and he managed to secure a podium on 3rd position. Similar performance to Kais, very consistent, but really nothing flashy. I think, you know, Rally 2 it really shows off how good the driver is. I don't want to like downgrade any of the drivers, obviously, because Gryazin also drove the new Fabia Rally 2, which is the newest and probably the best car in this category. And in a sense, you know, I don't know what happens when you put Lopez or Rossel in the Fabia. We'll have to wait and see. But honestly, this car looks like the fastest. I don't know how other drivers would do in it. But as they say, the better drivers are in the better cars. That's what happens. As for the Ford Fiesta Rally 2, I don't know if it is really that slow, or was Fourmaux just yet again disappointing. Where is the speed that this young guy showed in the Fiesta when he was driving in the Rally 1 category? I have to admit, like, he disappointed me. Only one stage win and nothing more. No consistency or anything positive to even mention. He really needs to watch out, because the demotion from Rally 1 to Rally 2 means something, and he needs to. The M Sport did that to reduce the pressure, like take away the pressure from him, and let him just show his speed and build up on his consistency. If he doesn't do that this season, it's game over for Fourmaux. He's never going to be in the Rally 1 category ever again. Finally, the guy that has really impressed me from this category, even though he was not registered, was Oliver Solberg. I know when you're not registered, you are more free, like, to solve your speed. You're not really afraid of mistakes. He actually did crash, but that's not what cost him the time to not win this rally. It was actually the puncture that he had on the 11th stage, I think. It was on the 11th stage, I think. So I know a lot of people are making fun of him for crashing, and he did crash again, but he didn't lose a lot of time, and thankfully, you know, he didn't really damage the car, let's just say. But he was the only one that generally looked like putting up a fight with Gryazin. He was mad fast, incredible raw speed, and consistent up until that puncture on the 11th stage. And after that, he was still consistent, actually, winning a lot of stages. Incredibly fast. He won an overall of 10 out of 18 stages, including the power stage. So if he was registered in this rally, he would have actually got the 5 points off the power stage. I don't know if it's 3 points in the WC2 category, but still, he was the fastest man in the WC2 category. So if that's not impressive, I don't know what it is. The kid is definitely a favorite for that 2023 WC2 title, and he definitely has a future in the top category. Like, you know, he's still young, and not all drivers have the same, like, you know, improvements in all aspects of the driving. One aspect of the driving is consistency. Like, there are a lot of examples of drivers being fast but crashing, and they later on improved on that. So I still have faith on Oliver Solberg. So that was the Monte Carlo rally. Next one is the Swedish rally, as we're moving to snow in only, I think, 10, 9, 8 days, something like that. I don't know when this video is going to be released. As for me, I'm planning to release these videos only like 2-3 days after the rally. It was just like, you know, the exams that kept me from held me up from uploading this earlier. So if you enjoy the next few videos of this thing, I could turn this into a series, because I think it's nice to get a lot of you who enjoy the WC games into the real thing. So yeah, make sure you comment what you want to see changing or what you liked in these type of videos, and be sure that as time passes, the videos will only get better with your help and my ideas, because I literally have something planted in my head. The format of the videos is probably me sewing myself. I just don't want to sew myself on these videos until I get like some equipment that I think it's important to turn these videos into something more special than just me sitting on my desk. So just be patient and tell me if you like this format of video, and I'll make sure, you know, to keep it up and so you review even the next rallies. As for today, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're a fan of the videos, and like this video if you enjoyed it, and see you on the next one very soon.